So today is the 21st of May, and we were kind of let down. We were kind of in a low place, I think, up against the economic hurdle of trying to secure the venue for our lumberjack, ninja warrior, music, turning into shape-shifting into McManaman's type spring hut show, nightclub thing. Our venue for our business with that mental health trust land there in in Juneau next to the Coast Guard downtown. And long story short, my solution was, since like I mentioned, being someone who's worked a bunch of different jobs for the last 10 years and has been sitting at a desk, might not have the best credit, and also for getting a loan from a bank to start a business like this, and then also the issue with sort of the lack of an ecosystem for developing startups here in Juneau, in the capital, and in Alaska, in terms of trying to find investment, secure investment, those sorts of hurdles and obstacles that you have to, almost like an old obstacle course, just try and start a business, the parallel between the obstacle course that we're developing. But maybe down the line we can try to have some sort of a business accelerator, incubator, but that's something that would be down the line. But long story short, I was like, I said this a couple of weeks ago. I was like, can we find a local, strong local business partner to try to enlist their support? So anyway, managed to jump in a different room. I try to record this real quick though, but like, lack of a startup ecosystem, lack of investors, can't really get a loan for this type of business, and we're just camping out of the core. We're real, this is not that this is grassroots or this is on ramen or anything, but like, this is one person's dream. So a strong local business partner, and I'm like Alaskan Brewing, Alaskan Amber. When I first came to Alaska, I was 18 years old. One of the first beers I drank was the Alaskan Amber, and I remember my coworkers sneaking me to the bars and stuff. And to me, it's really an iconic brand, and they have a strong presence here in Juneau. They have a tasting room, they do tours. So we went over there and talked to the marketing person, Kelsey, today, and I was like, maybe we can almost have you guys be like a, not necessarily a sponsor, but almost like a co-owner of this type of a company, help us with the startup funds, so that we, help us with sort of maybe an umbrella. Put this sort of a program, a tour thing, under their umbrella insurance policy. I look at like some of the big businesses in Alaska, Southeast Alaska, doing tourism, whether it's Alaska Icefield Expeditions or Alaska X Tours, where they have several different tour businesses, and they're sort of under the management of some business people, whether it's Robert Murphy or whether it's the Turners, and then they've got a bunch of different kind of dog musher people managing the different things and that kind of thing. So, kind of learning from that, having someone with like the business expertise and with the financial expertise, and to be able to help get things started on that front and make the technical business stuff, those are the skill sets that I lack, in other words. So, having a real strong business partner like Alaska Brewing, we could even market and, sell the tour business as the Alaska Brewing type show, and having it be like the lumberjack obstacle type course thing, Northwoods culture, the show for the tours going during the day, and then having the business sort of shape shift into this more of a nightclub type theme. And the woman knew, Kelsey knew about McManaman's in Oregon, so that's really good, because that's what we're trying to shoot for, having the lumberjack, the log rolling pool shift into this like a hot soaking pool like McManaman's in Oregon. They would be serving drinks, potentially a startup location to begin bring people from the ship over to the Alaska Brewing tasting thing there in Lemon Creek, back and forth, really close to the ship, shuttling people back and forth. And obviously we could also give them a real strong presence in the winter with our race. The stuff we're doing this summer would snowball into the winter in terms of brand identity, in terms of brand association, everything we're trying to do with our race, reprogramming in the stuff that's the best of Alaska, the self-reliance, the living off the land, those sorts of behaviors, like the paleo emphasis, what you see with the CrossFit and the Spartan, but being more specific. And that's what our race is really about. But our race wants to get financed by this tourist business, so that's what we're hustling to get together here. And like I told her, I'm playing on my background with the tourism industry, half a dozen years doing the helicopter glacier tours, doing the rafting, etc., and taking a very creative and innovative approach to the lumberjack type show, making it more than a lumberjack show, using components of a lumberjack theme with the show, but using the Northwoods culture, the bow and arrow, some of the new stuff, the CrossFit type stuff, trying to program in to the actual obstacle course that we're making, some sort of thing so that the people can see what we're working towards with our winter race in terms of getting the food yourself and and obviously having it be really spectator friendly, be real entertaining, but then have that same venue in the evening shift into more of a McManamons type thing where local people can come, they can buy an Alaskan Amber, they can soak in the pool for $15. We're going to be generating profit from that angle too, and building local community from that angle too. So we're sort of have a cross pollination where during the day we're catering to and focused on the tourist market. We can also use the location as a place for pickup for and shuttle towards the actual brewery for people to come and do tasting tours. And in the evening, we're having it be more of like a McManamons type style thing. There can be music. There can be, the soaking pool, and there can be drinks served. And having a partner like Alaska Brewing, I'm thinking, and originally I was like, they can just give us some money, but one of the hurdles even if they gave me enough money to rent the space, I'm going to run into the insurance thing, I'm going to run into logistics, and I can get it done, in other words, but having a partner, a co-owner who's really big in the community and really financially stable and has the technical business expertise, that's going to take me to the next level, I think. And my idea, my vision for the race and for that location in terms of the business, in terms of the creative entrepreneurship, and also as an artist, like I said to her, it seems like a lot, 15,000 for that location, but the proximity to town and my belief that, having 200 seats, $25 a person, one good show at capacity, that's 1 month's rent. So, or even if we end up taking a month or 3 weeks to get this together, 2 months for this first summer, we can definitely achieve those numbers. We can knock it out of the park in achieving those numbers. And I have the confidence that we're going to be able to max out the capacity a lot. Really rainy day here in Juneau, I feel strongly that we have to have our I's dotted and T's crossed in terms of dialing in the shelter for the show. But I believe that this is something that we're going to be able to pull together if we have a strong partner like that. So it's sort of exciting, I think, to not get a couple of days ago I was really easy to get depressed if you don't have the capital, the money, when you've got a great idea and you can make the money, but you don't have the money to put in to get it going, to make the money. But with a strong partner, almost someone who's, and almost like, how would we technically structure sort of a co-ownership business deal? That's something that I'll have to explore with them or with other businesses, etc. We're also, up Eagle Crest, maybe there's a good location up there, space. I like the downtown thing because I really, as an artist, I want a venue for the performing, and I really see strongly the potential for that to be like a performance, like a music thing that would generate a lot of money, as well as the hot spring type vibe, which would generate a lot of money. You could probably get that up there too. I'm not sure it would work out perfect. Anyway, long story short, that's sort of the angle that I'm going now here in Juneau before just breaking camp and heading up towards a different location to try to pull it off. I'm like, the skill set gap that I need, a strong business partner could add. They could be the startup funds, they could be the technical business expertise, they could be the umbrella insurance policy, and and ultimately through this, I'm not sure, I'd like to be doing it a lot, but ultimately through this, it would create an exit for me too, and allow me as creative, as an entrepreneur, as an artist, to pursue other things, but also to have this be something that is probably with Alaska Brewing's roots and with their with their history and their presence, not just here in Juneau, but in Alaska. This is the type of partner that can deliver upon my vision, that can deliver upon the awesome potential for this sort of thing to be a transformational, monumental thing in terms of the race, in terms of reprogramming in the subsistence behaviors in the big fitness empires, in terms of reprogramming in the self-reliance and the connection with nature the world over. This is the type of company that can also make tons of money, not just through working with us on the business front, but tons of money in terms of brand association and how working with us on the business presence here will snowball into the winter, into the race, into et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And as an alcohol thing, I don't see it as a bad thing. Because the evening nightclub type thing, music, it's local too. There's not a good, strong, big local protein powder company here. You know what I mean? There's not a big, strong local hot springs thing here. So this is a good potential partner, and I feel strong that it's worth giving it a shot. And I was really glad I kind of persisted. A couple phone calls, finally got in there and talked to her, and follow up with an email. And I think I'm optimistic. I'm really optimistic about that venue's potential to make tons of money. You know what I mean? To make more than enough money once we get it started to pay for the rent there. And so we just need someone to help us get it started, help us do it the right way with the insurance, help us do it the right way with the, with the logistics, and with the right kind of partner. I think we can really give them a good, strong, not just a social, not just an economic, but just a real strong return on their investment for for the good of humanity, and also for the good of Juneau, and I think for the good of Alaska. And really, that's what their brand is about. So the heritage, the culture, the history, and just like the night life, the fun. I'm optimistic. I feel good about this idea.